the general public that in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, entitled Senator Byron M. Bear Open Public Meeting Act, New Jersey Casino Control Commission on December 7, 2022, filed with Secretary of State at the State House in Trenton an annual meeting schedule. On December 8, 2022, copies were mailed to subscribers. Any member of the public who wishes to address the commission will be given the opportunity to do so before the commission adjourns for the day. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you could remain standing for a moment of silence for the Lieutenant Governor who passed on August 1st. Thank you. Welcome everyone who is joining us in person and remotely today. Meeting participants who wish to do so can continue to address the Commission through remote technology. We are also permitting in-person participation. The public meeting room is therefore open and the appropriate health measures are being taken. We will, however, continue to stream our public meetings. The public is able to listen through access provided on the Commission's website, as well as through our YouTube channel. We will accept public comments via email. Public comments can be sent to public.comments@ccc.nj.gov. I will repeat that. Public comments can be sent to public.comments@ccc.nj.gov, beginning now and any time throughout the meeting, ending at the time of adjournment. This meeting is being transcribed as well as recorded, and minutes will be available on our website in due course. To meeting participant callers, I ask that you follow the instructions provided with the web link or the audio call-in code, and please place your phones on mute until your matter is called. Also, when your matter is called, please turn on your camera and identify yourself before speaking. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mr. Chairman, please answer when I call your name for the roll, please. Commissioner Molyneux.
Present.
Vice Chair Cooper.
Present.
And Chairman Pelosi.
Present.
Thank you. Matters discussed this morning in closed session included employee key license applications, as well as approval of the minutes of the closed session portion of your July 12, 2023 closed session. The first item on the agenda for your consideration is the ratification of the minutes of the public portion of the July 12, 2023 meeting.
Are there any questions for council or corrections?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to ratify the minutes of the July 12th, 2023 meeting.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 2 for your consideration are applications for initial casino key employee licenses. They include the following: Audrey A. Cerniglia, Stephen A. Colasurdo Jr., Kathleen T. Fulford, also known as Kathleen T. Guerrero, Darren Garino, John F. Heems, Joseph A. Corba, Stephen T. Marazita, Len M. Mazer, also known as Len M. Dembinski, Golam Mustafa, Juan A. Munoz Serrato, Eric J. Siegert, Noel L. Stevenson, also known as Noel E. Lupo, Rebecca A. Thury, also known as Rebecca A. Ross. With respect to those matters, the matters of Colasurdo, Forford, Heems, Corba, Mustafa, Munez, Serrato, Siegert, Thury, and Eric Hessian, who was also identified as a request for a temporary key, an initial key license. He is already a plenary qualifier. A separate petition for his key was filed via PRN 2062301. With respect to those matters, the division has reviewed and has no objection to your granting of their initial casino key employee licenses. Staff reviews and concurs and recommend that you do so.
Are there any questions regarding any of these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the 9 initial casino key employee licenses.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. I would just note for the record that Mr. Hessian's matter was an addendum and identified on that addendum as 2N. With respect to the remaining items in number 2, with respect to Audrey Soniglia, Lynn Mazer, Noel Stevenson, there is also no objection to their initial casino licensure by the division. Staff concurs. However, each of those individuals have multi-casino endorsements, and therefore is recommended by separate vote that you grant those initial casino key employee licenses with the multi-casino endorsement.
Are there any questions regarding these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the 3 initial casino key employee licenses with multi-casino endorsements.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. With respect to Darren Garino and Stephen T. Mazzarito, the division has requested that the matters be remanded. Staff concurs, and we recommend that those 2 matters be referred to the contested case process.
Are there any questions for council regarding these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to remand for a hearing the 2 initial casino key employee license applications.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 3 are approvals through delegation of authority between July 1, 2023 and July 31, 2023 pursuant to resolution number 22011211B. Patrick Ealer will review those matters with you. However, no action is required by you at this time.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Patrick Ealer, Licensing and Financial Evaluation Manager, appearing on behalf of the Commission. Between July 1st and July 31st, 2023, the staff of the Commission's Regulatory Affairs Division granted the following approvals via its delegated authority. On July 17th, 2023, temporary casino key employee licenses were granted to Alicia T. Perez, also known as Alicia T. Bleshman and Alicia T. Secreto, for a dual-rate security manager position at Bally's Atlantic City, and to Joseph Procopio for a dual-rate table games assistant shift manager position at Ocean Casino. On July 19th, 2023, a temporary casino key employee license was granted to Anup Chowdhury for a dual-rate table games assistant shift manager position at Ocean Casino. And on July 27th, 2023, a temporary casino key employee license was granted to Scott A. Duncan for a dual-rate casino games supervisor/assistant casino shift manager position at Caesars Atlantic City. This memorializes the noted approvals that were granted by the Commission's Division of Regulatory Affairs via its delegated authority during this period. No further Commission action is required.
Thank you. Item number 4 are requests for inactivation of casino key employee licenses. Again, Patrick Ealer will review those matters with you.
In lieu of filing a casino key employee license review application, the following individuals have requested to be placed on the casino key employee license approved inactive list: James Allen, Stephen S. Callender, Dominic J. D'Angelo, Craig P. DeFabio, Eric P. Fiacco, Mary P. Fox, also known as Mary Patricia K. Fox. Barbara D. Jolly, also known as Barbara D. Donahue, Thomas J. Knoll, William M. Mertz III, Teresa C. Moody Butler, also known as Teresa C. Moody, Jordan G. Palomar, Eileen B. Riddle, also known as Eileen B. Epstein, and Eileen B. Rifkin, Alan J. Riven, Christian P. Rossetti, and Ada Y. Velez, also known as Ada Y. Neves. If the requests are granted, each individual may remain on the approved and active list for a period of up to 5 years. Commission staff has reviewed these requests and recommends that you grant the requested relief.
Are there any questions on any of these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the requested relief and order that the 15 Casino Key employee licenses be inactivated.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Item number 5 is consideration of the lapsing of Casino Key employee license. Again, Patrick Ehler will review those with you.
At this time, the following 7 individuals are up for your consideration to lapse their Casino Key employee license: Stephen M. Bonner, James E. Egan, Joseph A. Lopresti, Vipin C. Pandya, also known as Vipin Chandra C. Pandya, Tammy L. Powell, also known as Tammy L. Cross, Michael A. Stadnicki, and Jonathan H. Yu. In each of these cases, the Casino Key employee license review application filing deadline has passed, and the individual has not filed a Casino Key employee license review application, nor requested to be placed on the Casino Key employee license approved and active list. Based on these facts, staff recommends that the Casino Key employee licenses of each of the individuals be deemed to have lapsed.
Are there any questions on any of these matters?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to find that the 7 Casino Key employee licenses lapsed pursuant to NJAC 19:41A-6.1F of the regulations.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Item number 6 is the application for suspension in State of New Jersey versus Kyledia M. Macon, docket number 230048RC. Senior Counsel Teresa Pimpinelli will guide you through that matter.
Morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. By complaint filed July 27, 2023, the division has sought the immediate suspension of Ms. Macon's temporary Casino Key employee license based on her July 15, 2023 charge, which the division asserts disqualifies her. Ms. Macon was notified of today's meeting, but no communication has been received by staff. I note the division is here and would ask them to enter their appearance and proceed.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. On July 15th, 2023, Kyledia McCann was charged with 1 count of theft by unlawful taking, a third-degree offense in violation of NJSA 2C:20-3A. It is alleged that on October 12th, 2022, Kyledia McCann was working as an associate at Bank of America and transferred $1,000 into the bank account of an acquaintance that was not entitled to the funds. On July 27th, 2023, the director issued an emergency letter order suspending the temporary Casino Key employee license of Kyledia McCann as the matter was both emergent and was criminal and necessary to protect the state interests set forth in Section 109 of the Casino Control Act. On July 27th, 2023, the division filed a complaint and application seeking the Commission's endorsement of the division's order suspending the temporary Casino Key employee license of respondent Kyledia McCann. Pursuant to Section 86D of the Casino Control Act, the Commission shall deny a casino license to any applicant when there is current prosecution or pending charges against the applicant for any enumerated disqualifying offense. In the matter at hand, the criminal charge of theft against Kyledia McCann is currently pending adjudication. Additionally, this criminal charge and the underlying conduct is disqualifying pursuant to Sections 86C1, 86D, and 86G of the Casino Control Act. Moreover, given the alleged conduct and criminal charges, respondent lacks the good character, honesty, and integrity required of Casino Key employee licensure by Section 89B2 of the Casino Control Act. Accordingly, the division respectfully requests the endorsement of the suspension of respondent's temporary Casino Key employee license pending the final resolution of the division's complaint. Thank you.
Are there any questions for counsel?
No.
No.
And for the record, the applicant is not here, correct? Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the division's application to suspend Kyledia M. Macon's Casino Key employee license and remand the matter for a contested case hearing before the commission.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Please mute your phones until your matter is called. Thank you. Item number 7 is consideration of the initial application of Deborah Murdoch for a Casino Key employee license, docket number 230028CK. Again, we have Senior Counsel Teresa Pimpinelli, who will guide you through that matter.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing again for the Commission. Before you is a stipulation of settlement for the initial application of Deborah Murdoch for her Casino Key employee license. If approved, her key license will be valid through August of 2028. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Ms. Murdoch is represented by counsel. I would ask counsel for Ms. Murdoch and the division to enter their appearances and proceed.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division has nothing to add on this matter and respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted, and if the applicant wishes to speak, that the applicant be sworn in prior to doing so. Thank you.
Good morning, Lloyd Levinson, Cooper Levinson, on behalf of Ms. Murdoch. We have nothing to add. We just wanted to show certainly our respect to the commission and be here if you have any questions. But I think it's rather straightforward. And we ask that the stipulation of settlement be approved.
Thank you, counsel. Are there any questions for counsel or the applicant?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Deborah Murdoch for a Casino Key employee license.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 8 is consideration of the initial application of Jessica DiStefano for a Casino Key employee license, docket number 230041CK. Again, we have Senior Counsel Pimpinelli who will address that matter with you.
Again, Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. Before you is a stipulation of settlement for the initial application of Jessica DiStefano for her Casino Key employee license, which, if approved, will be valid through August of 2028. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Ms. DiStefano was notified of today's proceedings. I would just ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division has nothing further on this matter and respectfully requests that the stipulation be approved as submitted. Thank you.
Are there any questions for counsel?
No.
And for the record, the applicant is not here, correct? Okay. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Jessica DiStefano for a Casino Key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 9 is consideration of the initial application of Christian Lorenzo for a Casino Key employee license, docket number 230036CK. Senior Counsel Pipinelli will review that with you.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing again for the Commission. Before you is a stipulation for the initial application of Christian Lorenzo for her Casino Key employee license. If approved, her license will be valid through August of 2028. You have staff's memo and recommendation on this matter. Ms. Lorenzo was notified of today's meeting, and I would just ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division has nothing further on this matter and respectfully request that the stipulation be approved as submitted. Thank you.
Any questions for counsel?
No.
And again, for the record, the applicant is not here, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Christian Lorenzo for a Casino Key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 10 is consideration of the initial application of Jesus Soto for a Casino Key employee license, docket number 230045CK. Senior Counsel Pipinelli will guide you through that matter.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. Before you is the initial application of Jesus Soto for his Casino Key employee license, which, if approved, will be valid through August of 2028. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Mr. Soto is present. I would ask the counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division filed a supplemental report dated July 18th, 2023, withdrawing the division's request for a conference of this matter as the applicant has provided documentation that the applicant no longer owes a debt to the Internal Revenue Service. Accordingly, the division now recommends the granting of the application for a Casino Key employee license. And we would request that if the applicant wishes to speak, that the applicant be sworn in prior to doing so. Thank you.
Are there any questions for counsel or the applicant?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the initial application of Jesus Soto for a Casino Key employee license.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Good luck, Mr. Soto.
Item number 11 is consideration of the initial application of Samantha Goldberg for a Casino Key employee license, docket number 230037CK. Senior Counsel Pipinelli will guide you through that.
Hello again, Chairman and Commissioners. Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. Before you is a stipulation of settlement for the initial application of Samantha Goldberg for her Casino Key employee license, which, if approved, will be valid through August of 2028. You have staff's memo and recommendation on this matter. Ms. Goldberg was notified of today's proceedings. I would just ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division has nothing further on this matter and respectfully request that the stipulation be approved as submitted. Thank you.
And for the record, the applicant's not here, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Are there any questions for counsel?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Samantha Goldberg for a Casino Key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Item number 12 is consideration of the initial application of Edie Abelard for a Casino Key employee license, docket number 230039CK. Again, Senior Counsel Pipinelli will address that with you.
Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel for the Commission. Your final stipulation of settlement to consider today is for the initial application of Eddie Abelard for his Casino Key employee license. If approved, his Casino Key employee license would be valid through August of 2028. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Mr. Abelard had indicated that he intended to appear by Zoom. I would just like to ask if he is on the line to please unmute yourself. Appears he is not on the Zoom call. I would ask the counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Chairman and Commissioners, Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division has nothing further on this matter and respectfully request that the stipulation be approved as submitted. Thank you.
Are there any questions for counsel?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the stipulation of settlement between the division and applicant and grant the initial application of Eddie Abelard for a Casino Key employee license, subject to compliance with the terms and conditions as provided for in the stipulation.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Item number 13 is consideration of the initial Casino Key employee licensure and plenary qualification of Michael Palermo to serve as Vice President, Player Development Operations for AC Ocean Walk LLC. This matter was presented to you initially by PRN 340221 that was dated December 6, 2022, which sought the temporary Casino Key employee license and temporary qualification of Mr. Palermo as Vice President of Player Development. You granted that at your January 11, 2023 public meeting. Subsequent to that approval, in July 2023, Mr. Palermo's title was changed to Vice President, Player Development Operations. Now before you is your consideration of his initial Casino Key employee licensure and plenary qualification. With your permission, Mr. Chairman, counsel for the division is present, and I would ask that they enter their appearance and address the matter. I believe counsel for Mr. Palermo is also available. Is Mr. Musket present for? No, okay.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Ellen Fertakos, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division filed a report dated July 18th recommending the Casino Key employee licensure and plenary qualification of Michael Palermo. In addition, we've reviewed the draft resolution and have no objections. Thank you.
I apologize, Diana. I'm on. This is Joe Musket from Ocean.
Okay, you're at the end of your appearance. Mr. Musket, please.
Sure. Good morning, Chairman Pelosis, Vice Chair Cooper, and Commissioner Molyneux. I'm Joseph Musket, Senior Vice President and General Counsel for Ocean Casino Resort. Appear on behalf of Michael Gregory Palermo and Ocean. I reviewed the resolution concerning the initial Casino Key employee license and plenary qualification of Mr. Palermo to serve as Vice President, Player Development Operations for Ocean. I have no objection in form and substance to the resolution, and I respectfully ask on behalf of Mr. Palermo and Ocean, the resolution be approved as written. Thank you for your consideration.
Are there any questions for counsel?
No.
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and A, grant an initial Casino Key employee license to Michael Palermo, and B, find Mr. Palermo qualified to serve as Vice President of Player Development Operations for AC Ocean AC Walk LLC, in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1, NJSA 5:12-89, and NJAC 13:69C-2.6.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 14 is the amended petition of Boardwalk 1000 LLC and HR Atlantic City LLC for the issuance of a temporary casino key employee license to Vincent Zane pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89E and a waiver of the residency requirement pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B4, and to permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Chief Financial Officer pending plenary qualification. This matter was originally initiated by a petition dated June 26, 2023, PRN 180234, seeking the temporary qualification of Mr. Zane as Chief Financial Officer for HR Atlantic City and its holding companies Seminole HR Holdings LLC, HHRE, HHRI LLC, and Seminole Hard Rock Entertainment. By letter amendment dated July 10, 2023, the additional request was made for a temporary casino key employee license with a residency waiver to Mr. Zane. The matter is now before you for consideration of that amended request for both the temporary casino key employee license with residency waiver and temporary qualification of Mr. Zane to serve as Chief Financial Officer for the entities indicated. With your permission, Mr. Chairman, I have the counsel for the division enter their appearance, and I do believe that counsel for Hard Rock Entities, Julie Nugent, is on the line.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Julie Nugent of Fox Rothschild, representing Boardwalk 1000 LLC and HR Atlantic City LLC. I have reviewed the resolution concerning the amended petition of Boardwalk 1000 LLC and HR Atlantic City LLC for the temporary casino key employee licensure and temporary qualification of Vincent Zahn to serve as Chief Financial Officer of HR Atlantic City LLC pending plenary qualification with the residency waiver. I respectfully request that it be approved as written.
Good morning again, Chairman and Commissioners. Ellen Fortakos, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division submitted its response of no objection on July 24th to the relief requested. In addition, we've reviewed the draft resolution and have no objections. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
Yes. Is it possible for Julie to show her face? Or-
Yeah. Can you see me?
Yes. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Any other questions for council?
No.
I have one. I know we're waiving the residency requirement. How often do you think Mr. Zane will be in Atlantic City?
Likely on a annual basis, once, maybe once, I would say a year for maybe a week or so. He's really not going to be at the property. He will be managing the affairs from his main office, which is in Florida.
Does he manage other properties as well?
Yes.
And are
He's
they,
in the process of seeking licensure, pending regulatory approvals in various jurisdictions for other properties under the main Hard Rock umbrella, Seminole HR Holdings LLC.
thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions for council? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the amended petition and issue a temporary casino key employee license to Vincent Zahn pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B4 and NJSA 5:12-89E and NJAC 19:41A-5.3, and permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Chief Financial Officer for HR Atlantic City LLC, Seminole HR Holdings LLC, SHRE-SHRI LLC, and Seminole Hard Rock Entertainment Inc., pending plenary qualification. in accordance with the conditions contained in NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6 and 2.7, and further grant the petitioner's request to waive the residency requirement as provided for in NJSA 5:12-89B4.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Nugent. Item number 14 is the amended petition of Boardwalk 1000 LLC. Oh, sorry.
15.
We are at 15, consideration of the initial Casino Key employee licensure and plenary qualification of James W. Tierney to serve as Vice President of Strategic Performance for Boardwalk 1000 LLC. This was initiated by petition PRN 0272301 dated January 27, 2023, seeking temporary Casino Key employee licensure and temporary qualification of Mr. Tierney to serve as Vice President, Strategic Performance for Boardwalk 1000. You considered that matter at your February 8, 2023 meeting, which was granted, and now we're here for an initial Casino Key employee licensure and plenary qualification. With your permission, again, I believe council is present via Zoom, Ms. Nugent, and the division is present via Ms. Furtakis. And with your permission, I ask that they again enter their appearances and address the matter.
It appears that Julie's on mute.
You're on mute? Okay, there you go.
I must have been remuted, sorry. Again, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, thank you, Julie Nugent of Fox Rothschild. On behalf of Boardwalk 1000 LLC, I have reviewed the resolution concerning the initial Casino Key employee licensure and plenary qualification of James William Tierney to serve as Vice President and Vice President of Strategic Performance of Boardwalk 1000 LLC. And again, I ask that the resolution be approved as written.
Hello again, Chairman and Commissioners. Ellen Portagos, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division filed a report dated July 13th recommending the Casino Key employee licensure and plenary qualification of James Tierney. In addition, the division has reviewed the draft resolution and has no objections. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and A, grant an initial Casino Key employee license to James W. Tierney, and B, find Mr. Tierney qualified to serve as Vice President of Strategic Performance for Boardwalk 1000 LLC, in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJSA 5:12-89 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 16 is consideration of the initial Casino Key employee licensure and plenary qualification of George Goldhoff to serve as property president for Boardwalk 1000 LLC and HR Atlantic City LLC. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 3562201 dated December 20, 2022, seeking the temporary Casino Key employee licensure and temporary Casino Key employee licensure with MCE, and temporary qualification to serve as property president of Boardwalk 1000 and HR Atlantic City LLC. You considered it at your January 11, 2023 public meeting, which you granted, and now for your consideration is the initial Casino Key employee licensure with multi-casino endorsement and the plenary qualification of George Goldhoff to serve in the capacity indicated. We have same council present, and with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that they again enter their appearances and address the matter directly to the commission.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you again one last time. Julie Nugent of Fox Rothschild on behalf of Boardwalk 1000 LLC and HR Atlantic City LLC. I have reviewed the resolution of the commission concerning the initial key casino employee licensure with the multi-casino endorsement and plenary qualification of George Robert Goldhoff to serve as property president for Boardwalk 1000 LLC and HR Atlantic City LLC, and I respectfully request that the resolution be approved as written.
Good morning again, Chairman and Commissioners. Ellen Fortegos, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division submitted its report dated July 17th, recommending the initial casino key employee licensure with MCE and plenary qualification of George Goldhoff to serve as property president. We have also reviewed the draft resolution, and it is acceptable.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and A, grant an initial casino key employee license to George Goldhoff with a multi-casino endorsement pursuant to NJSA 5:12-91.1, and B, find Mr. Goldhoff qualified to serve as property president for Boardwalk 1000 LLC and HR Atlantic City LLC in accordance with NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJSA 5:12-89 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 17 is the, thank you. Item number 17 is the joint petition of please mute your phones. Thank you. Item number 17 is the joint petition of MGM Resorts International and Marina District Development Company, LLC, for the issuance of a temporary casino key employee license to David Edelman pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89E, and a waiver of the residency requirement pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B4, and to permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers. I think that's you, Patrick? Okay. To exercise the powers of Vice President, Regional Technology, pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by a petition, PRN 193-2303, dated July 11, 2023, seeking the temporary casino key employee licensure with residency waiver and temporary qualification of David Edelman to serve as Vice President, Regional Technology for MGM Resorts International. The matter is before you. We have counsel for the division is represented and counsel for MGM Resorts International, Patrick Madamba. We know that he's on the line. With your permission, Mr. Chairman, we ask that they both enter their appearance and proceed to address the commission directly.
Good morning. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not.
Yes, we can.
Because it was just, my camera keeps going off as well, so I'm not sure if I can see you. You can see me either, but I apologize. In any event, Pat Madamba, Senior Vice President, Legal Counsel for MGM Resorts International, on behalf of MGM, Marina District Development Company, LLC, and David Ottoman. I've read the draft resolution in its fine and form and substance. We just respectfully request that the relief be granted in the petition. And again, I'm really sorry. I'm having technology issues at the moment.
Understood.
Good morning again, and for the final time today, Chairman and Commissioners, Ellen Fortegos, Deputy Attorney General for the Division of Gaming Enforcement. The division filed its response dated August 4th of no objection to the temporary casino key employee licensure with residency waiver and temporary qualification of David Adelman. We've also reviewed the draft resolution and have no objections. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the petition and issue a temporary casino key employee license to David Adelman pursuant to NJSA 5:12-89B4, and NJSA 5:12-89E, and NJAC 19:41A-5.3, and permit him to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Vice President of Regional Technology for MGM Resorts International, pending plenary qualification, in accordance with the conditions contained in NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.6 and 2.7, and further grant the petitioner's request to waive the residency requirement as provided for in NJSA 5:12-89B4.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion? I have one question. Mr. Madamba, how often will he be in Atlantic City?
Chair, I honestly don't know. I could certainly get back to you, but I think what's important to note here is this is not a position that functions at Brigada, but rather a supervisor. We do have and will continue to have a senior-most person at Brigada. It's Tom Berdonia. He's been an employee of the Brigada property for many, many years. So we're not exporting a position. This is a supervisory role. Mr. Edelman's taking the position of someone that left the company. All of the IT functions report up into corporate. So this is a layer above the property as opposed to someone that's performing a property function.
Thank you for that clarification. Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
and Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item number 18 is the joint petition of Premier Entertainment AC LLC and Bally's Corporation requesting permission for Donald Westcott III to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Senior Vice President, Global Chief Compliance Officer, pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 2022302, dated July 21, 2023, seeking the temporary qualification of Donald Westcott III to serve as Senior Vice President, Global Chief Compliance Officer for Bally's Corporation. Counsel for both Bally's and the division are present, and with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I ask that they be allowed to enter their appearances and address the commission directly.
Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioner. Lynn Kaufman, Cooper Levinson for Premier Entertainment, AC LLC, and Bally's Corporation. We're here today seeking temporary qualification and authorization for Don Westcott III to assume the duties and exercise the powers of the position of Senior Vice President, Global Chief Financial Officer prior to plenary qualification. I note that this is a newly created position. As you know, Bally's has undergone tremendous growth, and compliance has always been not only a requirement, but a priority and part of its success. And therefore, Bally's created this new position to make sure the personnel at a high level and infrastructure was dedicated to compliance, in addition to the compliance efforts they've been doing so far. This does not replace any position in Atlantic City. We have a Chief Compliance Officer in Atlantic City. I have reviewed the resolution, have no objections, and respectfully request you approve it. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. James Lee, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of Division Gaming Enforcement. You have the division's response dated July 31 of no objection to the temporary Casino Key employee licensure and qualification for Donald Westcott III as a Senior Vice President, Global Chief Compliance Officer of Bally's Corporation. In addition, division has reviewed the draft resolution and has no objections. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
Yes, you just mentioned a key. Was that an
It's
error?
a key employee licensure
Yeah.
and qualification.
Okay. No, yeah, there is no, he is not a mandatory position. He's not working in Atlantic City. The resolution states qualification.
The corrections, stuff for qualification for as the Global Chief Compliance Officer for Bally's Corporation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For clarifying. Are there any questions for council?
Yeah, thank you, Lynn, for catching that.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, I move to adopt the draft resolution and authorize Donald Westcott III on a temporary basis and prior to his plenary qualification to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Senior Vice President, Global Chief Compliance Officer for Bally's Corporation, subject to the conditions contained in NJSA 5:12-85.1C, NJSA 5:12-89B 1 and 2, and NJAC 13:69C-2.7.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 19 is a joint petition of Caesars Entertainment, Inc., Harrah's Atlantic City Operating Company, LLC, Boardwalk Regency, LLC, Tropicana Atlantic City Corp., and Caesars Interactive Entertainment, New Jersey, LLC, requesting permission for Rajendran Ambalagan to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Chief Information and Product Transformation Officer pending plenary qualification. This matter was initiated by petition PRN 209-2304, dated July 28, 2023, seeking the temporary qualification of Raj Ambalagan to serve as Chief Information and Product Transformation Officer for Caesars Entertainment, Inc. With your permission, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that counsel for both Caesars Entertainment, Inc. and the division enter their appearances and address the matter directly.
Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chair, Commissioner. Beth Sacco, Vice President, Chief Counsel, Regional Operations, Caesars Entertainment. The petition before you is for the approval of Rajendran Ambalagan, and I'm going to say that once, for approval to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Chief Information and Product Transformation Officer for Caesars Entertainment. This is a corporate position overseeing the IT function for Caesars Entertainment, the corporate parent. I have reviewed the resolution, and I have no objections, and I would respectfully request that the relief be granted as proposed. Thank you, and if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to address.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Connor Martin, Deputy Attorney General, on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. On July 31st, the division filed a letter of no objection to Rajendran Ambalagan acting as and performing the duties of Chief Information and Product Transformation Officer for Caesars Entertainment, Inc., pending plenary qualification. We reviewed the draft resolution and submitted minor edits for consideration. Thank you.
Are there any questions for council?
No.
I have to ask one. I haven't heard the term Product Transformation Officer.
I'm hoping that he transforms the product for Caesars Entertainment.
You answered it well, thank you. Are there any other questions for council?
No.
I was looking it up quick, too.
Hearing none, is there a motion?
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the draft resolution and authorize Rajendran Ambalagan on a temporary basis and prior to his plenary qualification to assume the duties and exercise the powers of Chief Information and Product Transformation Officer for Caesars Entertainment, Inc., subject to conditions contained in NJSA 5:12-85.1 and NJAC 13:69C-2.7.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, roll call vote?
Commissioner Molyneux,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cooper,
Yes.
and Chairman Pelosi.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 20 is adjourned. Addendum to the agenda, item number 21, application for suspension in State of New Jersey versus Michael Brown, docket number 230051RC. Believe we have counsel for the division. And Senior Counsel Teresa Pimpinelli will guide you through that matter.
Chairman. Chairman and Commissioners, Teresa Pimpinelli, Senior Counsel, appearing for the Commission. My final matter before you today is a complaint filed by the Division of Gaming Enforcement seeking a ruling suspending the Casino Key employee license of Michael T. Brown. You have staff's memo and recommendation for this matter. Mr. Brown is appearing on his own behalf via Zoom. As this is the division's complaint, I would ask counsel for the division to enter their appearance and proceed.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Jocelyn Fedowitz, Deputy Attorney General on behalf of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. On August 3rd, 2023, the division filed a complaint and application seeking the immediate suspension of the Casino Key employee license of respondent Michael Brown. As set forth more fully in the division's complaint, Michael Brown was charged on June 20th, 2023, with one count of invasion of privacy, a third-degree offense in violation of NJSA 2C:14-9B1, as well as one count of harassment, a petty disorderly persons offense in violation of NJSA 2C:33-4C. These criminal charges are currently pending adjudication. The criminal charge of invasion of privacy and the underlying conduct is disqualifying pursuant to Sections 86C1, 86D, and 86G of the Casino Control Act. Additionally, Michael Brown was charged on March 15th, 2023, with one count of attendance required by children ages 6 to 16, a disorderly offense in violation of NJSA 18A:38-25. Michael Brown currently has an outstanding warrant in connection with this case, which was issued on June 9th, 2023. Pursuant to Section 86E of the Act, the Commission shall deny a casino license to any applicant where there is current prosecution or pending charges against the applicant for any enumerated disqualifying offense, such as invasion of privacy in this case. Moreover, given the alleged conduct, criminal charges, and outstanding warrant, respondent lacks the good character, honesty, and integrity required of Casino Key employee licensure by Section 89B2 of the Casino Control Act. Accordingly, the division respectfully requests the immediate suspension of respondent's Casino Key employee license pending the final resolution of the division's complaint. And we would request that if Michael Brown wishes to speak, that he just be sworn in prior to doing so. Thank you.
Mr. Brown, this is your opportunity to speak. You'll have to take your camera and your microphone off.
I see his line there. Is that Michael's S21 Ultra?
Mr. Brown, are you there?
Said he's mute. He's muted.
Still hear us?
He has to unmute himself.
Mr. Brown, it's time for your matter.
Mr. Chairman, we asked for a 5-minute recess to find out what's going on with Mr. Brown, to see if he wants to, because he's on the line, but there appears to be he's not unmuting his phone. So council would ask the opportunity to reach out to him to find out if he intends to proceed.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll take a 5-minute
5-minute
recess.
recess.
Okay, Mr. Brown, you're on the line now. This is your opportunity to present what you would like to the commissioners. I note that the division has requested that you be sworn in before you give any testimony, and if there is anybody that you would like to call to speak on your behalf, you may do so when you're done giving your testimony. Do you wish to speak?
Yes.
All right,
Are you able to hear
Mr.
me?
Nance is going to swear you in now.
Mr.
Okay,
Brown.
thank you.
Mr. Brown, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please
Yes, I
state,
do.
please state your name for the record.
Michael Troy Brown.
Thank you.
You may begin.
I'd like to thank you guys for, thank the commission for allowing me to speak and attempt to explain my case. Through the last year, I suffered through multiple things. I was going through a separation, where I left the residence, but I didn't want to give up the residence, so my mail still came to this residence, and I have custody of my son. And when I received the letter to appear in court for truancy, it was too late, so the warrant was issued. I did go to the court and the warrant was rescinded, and they did not issue a new court date as of yet. The other matter, the error that I made in that incident was me misunderstanding the permission that was given. I requested the permission, but it wasn't for what I thought it was for. I was told, if I wanted something such as that, I would have to do it myself. So I took that as permission, but it wasn't for what I thought it was. Once I shared it with the other party, then I known that it wasn't permitted. So I immediately apologized and made sure that it was secure and deleted. Since then, I have had communication with the other party. We came to an understanding. They understand that I did make a mistake that I'm terribly sorry for. And, I respect women, and I have mother, I have sister, I have daughter, and I wouldn't want such a thing to happen. At this time, I think if my license was suspended, it would jeopardize me working. I won't be able to work. And I do have custody of my son, and I have other children as well. For the incident that I did seek therapy to make sure that whatever was causing me to think that way, I would take care of that. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to speak. I hope what I provided is enough information. And if there's any questions or anything you need to know, I'm more than willing to provide the information. Thank you. And at this time, I don't know if I have someone that can speak on the behalf. I was told that the other party would appear. And if so, I would like to have that person come forth and speak on my behalf. I'd like to thank you, and I'm finished.
Stand by, Mr. Brown.
Yes.
I just want to reiterate that pursuant to Section 86 of the Casino Control Act, the current prosecution or pending charges that are enumerated and as disqualifying offenses, such as, in this case, invasion of privacy, is enough to deny or suspend the casino license. We're not here to try the criminal matter or dispute any facts in this case. This is strictly about his casino key employee license. And we would also object to any other parties speaking today or testifying. Whoever those other parties, I'm not sure if, I think he alluded to it being the other party in the criminal matter. That person does not have standing in this proceeding. They also did not file any type of petition to intervene or participate in this proceeding. This is an ongoing criminal investigation, and the pending prosecution for the criminal charges against Michael Brown, permitting any testimony or statements made by anyone else involved in the criminal matter would be interfering with the ongoing criminal investigation and prosecution of Michael Brown. Moreover, any statements made by the other party who wishes to possibly speak today would be under oath, and that transcript would be provided to the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office where the case is currently pending. And then that would then become part of the criminal proceeding. Additionally, any statements made today could pose a potential criminal charge to whoever chooses to testify today, depending on what they say in relation to the pending criminal matter. So the division would object to any further testimony by any other persons involved in the criminal matter who are not involved in the casino licensing matter.
So, Mr. Chairman, it's the chairman and commission's discretion. An application to intervene or participate is not necessary with respect to a response to an application for suspension. So that I don't believe that that's a bar to your consideration of any additional witnesses that Mr. Brown may put forth. It is within your discretion to determine whether to allow Mr. Brown to have any additional witnesses speak on his behalf with respect to this, duly noted regarding the potential criminal exposure and/or otherwise with respect to both Mr. Brown and any other witnesses he wishes to testify. Certainly, that should be put on the record when anyone else is asked to come forward to ensure that they understand, as the division attorney indicated, that they understand those potential implications prior to addressing the commission.
Mr. Brown, did you talk to this person to testify on your behalf?
Yes. They attempted to testify on their own. I was just made aware of it that, after we realized it was a mistake, an error, and they wanted to try, try to help bring clarity to it by speaking. But I do understand that it's an ongoing case, and I do understand that's why you won't allow the individual to speak.
And on your warrant, when did you take care of that?
That was taken care of today when I was able to have, obtain the money, but it was rescinded.
Did you pay a fine today, or how did they rescind it?
No, she told me that she would not have me paid today. She said she would just make sure that I get to the next court date. She understood my circumstance, and she said, to personally call her, to make sure that I'm at the next court date.
And they didn't give you that court date today?
No, sir. I do have her name and number. And
what is the court date on your other matter?
I do not know. I assumed that it was dismissed, but I guess I was wrong on that part. So I have to continuously check to see if there's a case. But I assumed that it was dismissed and it was over already. So, but I'll have to keep continuously checking.
Does the division have a court date for him?
When we checked the system, there was no court date, but the case does not indicate that it was dismissed or remanded. So we would assume that it's pending an indictment at this point, but there hasn't been any court date set or anything scheduled by the court or grand jury or prosecutor's office at this point.
Are we talking about the civil case?
No.
The citizen's complaint. That's what you-
For the citizen's complaint, when we checked, we didn't see any updated court date, but we also, when we checked this morning, did not see that the warrant was rescinded. So in the system, at least, it's not updated, and we haven't been provided any documentation indicating that it was rescinded.
Commissioners, do you have any other questions?
So I still think, Mr. Chairman, a determination needs to be made with respect to whether the commission will entertain any additional testimony. The other person, as we've referred to on the record, is here and present and has requested to speak to the commission. So as I said before, it is your discretion, is the board's discretion, whether or not you wish to entertain any statements made by that. And I do understand that there has been a request, if the other person speaks, for some discretion with regard to the public presentation of that testimony. Obviously, we are in a public meeting, so any additional information provided would need to be transcribed and recorded for the record. But you can entertain any information provided in an in-camera capacity, which would in essence be via a closed session process. But it is the board's determination whether you wish to entertain any additional testimony from that individual.
Well, we will take testimony. It will be in the public session, and it will be limited. So, Mr. Brown, do you want to call your witness?
So do I disclose the name or I just say, call the witness? How do I attempt
Yes.
to call the witness?
You can call her by name.
Okay, I would like to call Carol Schulte to come forward to speak.
Ms. Schulte, we understand that these proceedings are public and that the commission has determined that if you wish to speak, that you do so in a public forum. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Okay.
You'll have to be
Yes.
sworn in, please.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Carol Lee Schulte.
Thank you.
Please be seated. Did you understand what counsel said? Anything you say here can be used against you in a court matter?
Do I stand when I talk?
No, you can speak.
Yes, I fully understand, and I don't believe there will be any criminal proceedings. I had tried to contact them numerous times, and they said nothing, nothing, nothing. They haven't even discussed it yet. I called the police, and the police who took the document, and he said that I was too premature, that there might be a response by August, September, but they don't do it right away. So I was not even aware that that was an issue until now. I'm not concerned about the content because the truth is the truth, and that's the truth. So I'm not concerned about any issue regarding me or Mr. Brown with respect to this whole thing.
Well, there's really only two questions we need you to answer. Are you
Okay.
here of your own free will today?
Yes,
Okay. And are you planning on dropping the charges?
yes.
Okay. That's all we need.
Can I respond further, though? Yeah, I think it would give you additional information.
We don't need the additional information. All we're concerned about is the existing charge, and if you're here on your own free will.
Oh, yes, definitely. I drove from Maryland.
Okay, thank you. And do you know how to go through the process of getting the charges dismissed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Like I say, I have been very active in that. And I was told, still nothing, still nothing. So I have not let that drop at all. it's wrong. It's definitely wrong. What Mr. Brown said is, it was a miscommunication, the whole thing. He did nothing wrong in any of these events. And I have documentation, I brought proof, I brought evidence
Well,
with me.
again, we're not trying the case here.
Okay.
They're the only two matters that we had to clarify.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anything
Thank you
further?
for coming.
Thank you.
The division will not question her at this time to avoid interfering with the current prosecution and pending criminal charges against Michael Brown, which were only recently filed on June 20th, 2023.
Thank you. Does the commission need a few minutes to deliberate?
that would be good.
Okay. Okay. We'll take a 5-minute recess, and we'll go in the back, and then we'll come back out.
Mr. Brown, just, you can hang on for a few minutes, okay?
Yes.
Commissioners, are there any other questions for council or for Mr. Brown?
No.
None? Hearing that, is there a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move to adjourn this matter to the September 2023 meeting.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
Mr. Brown, the burden is on you. You have to get both of these matters resolved before the September meeting. I know you took steps today to address the one matter in regards to the truancy warrant, but you have to make sure you follow up with that court date and get that matter resolved. And we're giving you an opportunity here to get the other matter resolved that will continue, you will be able to continue your employment. So again, I can't emphasize enough that you have to do your due diligence to get both matters behind you and adjudicated. With that being said, is there a motion? I'm sorry, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. In accordance with Resolution 22120703, the next closed session shall be held on Wednesday, September 13, 2023, at 9:30 a.m. in the Commissioner offices.
This is the public participation portion of the meeting. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Fauntleroy, do we have any electronic comments?
No.
Mr. Chairman, no, we do not.
With that being said, the public portion of the meeting is now closed. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.